Welcome back. Agencies will develop four-year strategic plans to use data in annual budget requests. The deadline for agencies to hand those plans in is September 30th. Robert Shea is National Managing Principal for Public Policy at Grant Thornton. He's former Associate Director at the Office of Management and Budget and former Commissioner on the Commission on Evidence-Based Policymaking. Commissioner, welcome. It's good to see you. What do you make of these four-year plans that the agencies have not a lot of time to put together and get into the White House?
Yeah, and to be fair, they've been working on it for some time. OMB issued a memo just recently that told agencies they need to take this seriously. So agencies may be taking a deeper look at what's required under the Foundations for Evidence-Based Policymaking Act and what they really need to do to integrate evidence making, building, using into their strategic planning. So that they can get those into OMB in time. One point that OMB makes in its recent guidance is that this is not a compliance exercise. Agencies should take this seriously, use it as an opportunity to integrate, to transform their culture into learning cultures. So, you know, they've got a real opportunity here, but they've also got a tight deadline with some pretty serious requirement.
If an agency sees that guidance or saw that guidance and says, well, maybe we do need to take this more seriously than we have been, what does that transition look like? What do you expect to see agencies do differently to take this seriously than if an organization was looking at it as a compliance exercise?
Yeah, well, one of the requirements of the law is to do an assessment of your evidence building capacity. So they should make sure they've got the right people with the right skills in place to help build that culture. OMB invites agencies to request more investment. So this is by definition, according to OMB, a mission critical function, and they should invest what's necessary to make sure they get it right. So they should be, in addition to assessing where they are, looking for areas where they need additional investment, making those requests of OMB and of Congress.
What is necessary to get it right, Robert?
Well, they've got to have an evidence officer that is sufficiently resourced with the right people and money to drive evidence building. They need a data infrastructure, or at least to know where to get the data if they've got to go external, to be able to assess programs, so that they can improve programs. They've got to make sure that everybody at the agency is on the same page, that they know what the big questions are that they're trying to get answered. That's the learning agenda. They know what evaluations are going to be conducted over time to answer those questions. That's an evaluation plan. So those are just a few of the things that they need to do to get it right.
To the point, though, of the OMB guidance, is that what the agencies need to comply with the Evidence Act and OMB's guidance, or is that what they need to really succeed, to build a strategy that's going to be useful and comply not just with the letter of the Evidence Act, but the spirit of it, too?
Yeah, I think it's both. But the memo makes clear this is about transforming cultures into learning cultures. So every agency's got really important missions that impact the lives of the American people. And they should be trying to figure out what helps them achieve their missions best. That's what all this is about, so that they can figure out what programs are having the greatest impact, which are the most cost-effective activities, so they can divert resources from less effective uses, move them to more effective uses, so we can generally get a lot bigger bang for our buck as far as mission is concerned.
What is your sense of how sharp the teeth are that are behind this, Robert? What happens if some agency just says, you know what, this is going to pass. We're just going to keep doing it the way we're doing it. This is too much work and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you sound like some people I've heard before talking about this. It is an additional requirement. It is a burden. OMB invites agencies to request additional investment in their evidence building capacity. But it's important to note that this is built up over successive administrations: Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden. This is not a passing phase. This is something that's here to stay. It's in law. The guidance that OMB released, I really strongly encourage folks who care about this to read it, because it really does emphasize the vision and intent of all this, which is really to learn a lot better, a lot quicker about what works, so that we can begin to move more of our investment into those kinds of programs, and just be more effective. You know, one of the things we've talked about is the administration's focus on equity. One of the points that the guidance makes is that agencies should ensure that their evidence-building activities are assessing and improving the equitable distribution of the government services and benefits.
Robert Shea, thanks very much as always. Great to see you, Commissioner.
Delight to be with you.